Yes, sir. What up? It's the boy Jay Runner holding it down. Undrafted players. Yeah, we're gonna talk a lot. All-Star Weekend, Slam Dunk Contest. LeBron not playing at the last minute. TNT going fishing, and we're gonna make it do what it do. I'm here with my guy, the notorious, the magnificent T Daddy. What up, my brother?
Run it, Jay.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do. What you thought about the All-Star Weekend?
Nah, I mean, I liked it. You
You liked it? Did you really
don't
like
have
it?
much to say. Nah, man. It's not like how it was. Of course, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
I,
missed the
I
old All Star. When I was a kid. Not even a kid. When I was, a younger fella. This new
yeah.
format is crazy, and it's like they keep making up new stuff. It's a circus now, man. Did you enjoy it?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really watch the early aspects. I did watch the game because I wanted to see the format in itself. My guy Mac Man. Shout out to him because he does bring a lot of energy for the slam dunk aspect. Like I did go to the slam dunk contest. Well, I went to the NBA All Star Weekend in Toronto and the slam dunk contest. That particular one with Aaron Gordon and Zach was amazing. I know they went twice. I don't believe Zach won both times, but they really were competitive. Both of those guys are NBA superstars, so I really did enjoy that, especially when you look at all these high flyers right now with Anthony Edwards and John Moran. You would think these guys would get active. They said they might get active next year, and I hope they do because I think on that aspect, that's something that we missing.
But
Anthony Edwards did say that he dunks hard, but he's not creative. So maybe that's the reason why he doesn't want to participate. But he did say that he might do that in 2026.
it just seems like since LeBron decided not to do it when he first came into the league. These other superstars, they took a back seat. And that's what we need. When you think about the best slam dunk contest, you're thinking about Jordan and Dominique Wilkins, Vince
Yeah, you
Carter,
also yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Anthony Edwards did that. He would probably be nice, but I remember that year with Sean Kemp used to do it all the time. And Kemp could never get off in the slam dunk contest, but he can get off in the game. It's crazy. Remember
Yeah,
Sean
but
Kemp, Rain Man?
yeah, I remember Shaw Kemp. Of course, Seattle Supersonics. He was a beast. He couldn't palm the ball though, so I think that's the reason why. But in the game, he was able to be creative, and obviously he was dunking on somebody. But I feel like Anthony Edwards, if he practiced or he put a little effort into it, he'd be okay. I don't think he would be horrible, especially what we have seen from NBA players now, especially John Moran. Yeah, they are both energetic, hard dunking athletes, but I think if they put the effort in there to be creative, they will be okay. I mean, that's what we like to see, though. We like to see you go in and, you know, pause, be strong. You know what I'm saying? put that work in. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be creative with it and just kind of think outside the box. I think they are capable of doing dunks as Zach did and as Aaron Gordon did in 2016. They just got to
I,
go out there and do it.
I don't know. Aaron Gordon is funny because if you watch him play, you wouldn't think, he could do those type of dunks. So he's different. But what I see, they weren't really talking about Anthony Edwards. At least on my end of the internet, they were talking about John Morant.
Yeah. John is more exciting. Obviously you see him dunk on people that you don't think he'd be able to do. And he actually done some amazing dunks in the game. So I can see why Anthony Edwards is more explosive. He has his moments. I mean, it's funny because to me, he reminds me of Jordan more than anybody at this moment. Like I see the potential if he really puts the work in, but that's on him. You know what I'm saying? He got the swag, he got the culture lock. He talks a lot of ish on that basketball court, and you see moments. And he actually reminds me of Mike in certain aspect, but it's just not consistent. But I feel like he has the ability to reach that level. He just have to challenge himself, and if he does, we might see something amazing if he decides to do the slam dunk contest.
Well, we already know he's an exciting basketball player. Didn't they make it to the Western Conference Finals
Yeah,
last season?
they lost to the championship. Oh, whoa, no, no, no. I'm sorry. They lost to
Lost the
Dallas,
Mavs.
yeah,
Yeah.
to the Mavericks, and they went to the championship and lost, but they end up trading Luca. But that's a whole nother story. We already talked about all of that good stuff. But what do you think about this format? Shaq had a team, the OGs. Chuck had the global superstars, and Kenny had the young stars. That was a difference. And my guy Draymond Green talked a lot about it and how he felt, and he did not hold back. What do you think, T?
I wish they would go back to the a traditional All Star game. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I
All
agree.
these jokes, and I mean, like back in the day, you turn on Nickelodeon and you can those guys can play, and MTV they can play and do all that extra stuff. But when it came down to the major network, NBC, everything was official. It was traditional. And I wish they would go back to that format. Like I don't necessarily want to hear Shaq and Kevin Hart jinxing each other for an hour.
Yeah, I think that was a one offer though. I think that the reason they did that was because this is the last year that TNT is going to be hosting any basketball aspect, and then it's going to go to ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. So I agree with you on that. I think the format it was cool. I get it, and I agree with what Chuck said, and I also agree with Draymond Green said. Chuck said, "Well, listen, this generation is not playing, so we got to try whatever we got to try." But also agree with Draymond said like it's just not exciting. People come to break records. You see the clips that we have right now. You see Kobe playing against LeBron. You see Michael Jordan against Kobe. You know what I'm saying? You see these people taking it serious and really want to be effective during the All Star game because this is the best players in the world. So if it's the best players in the world and we saying these are the best players in the world, then we need to treat it like that.
Right? It don't feel that
Kenny,
way no more.
yeah, Kenny, and Kenny. I get what Kenny's trying to do. He's trying to be the guy that says, "Hey, we're trying. There's more blocks have been," and it's like, bro, like, listen, they're not playing that hard. It's one team playing hard, and the other team is don't really care. And then, like you said, with all the antics, which I do believe it was because it was TNT's last All Star game. That was the reason of the slow aspect, but it was still corny. I agree with you on that.
Very corny.
What do you think? Besides going back to East and West, which I do agree with, that they can do just to amplify it.
I mean, I think this is bringing back the traditional All Star game. You know,
Simple
let
as
the
that.
fans choose, the fans and the media choose the best players and put them out there on the court.
I agree.
It went
I also
downhill to
think,
me once they started this LeBron and well, 1 year was LeBron and KD with choosing players. It's
what
like
that
making
wasn't
up their
as
own teams
bad
and
because that was I felt like they at least tried that year. But I do agree with you. I mean, it was different, and they kept on, like you said, they keep trying to do something to bring the excitement back to All
and,
Star Weekend.
and it seems like they keep breaking it more.
Yeah, they are. This was by far, I mean, it's so many people on social media, people like us. Oh, this is the worst all-star game of all time. And I'm just like, the worst? They might
Nah,
be
they've had
right
a
though.
couple bad ones.
They did. They
But
did.
the whole All Star thing seems like besides baseball, I think baseball is still pretty legit. But football, the Pro Bowl, that's crazy now. That's not like how it was, coming up, and the NBA All Star Weekend. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
think the All-Star
just come
weekend
out
for
there to
us
play.
is because the Super Bowl so close. We expect it to be amazing. It's a week apart. It used to be
Yeah,
the
that
it used
sucks.
to be the second week of February. Now it's the third week because of Super Bowl. It's the
The
best
extra
plays
week,
in the
yeah.
league. Yeah, and then Pro Bowl is a little different because people get hurt. So you kind of expect that to be watered down per se, but you do expect the best one in to play the best. And even the aspect. What do you think about this? LeBron not playing at the last minute because he said he had a foot injury.
LeBron could do whatever he want to do. He just showed y'all again. It doesn't surprise me when LeBron broke was it Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record?
Yeah, that the number one scorer of all times. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the leader
when
scorer all
LeBron broke
time.
his record, and basically, Lakers probably could have won that game, but after LeBron broke the record, like that basically was the game. They were chilling, playing, and LeBron can do whatever he wants to do out there. He is the poster child of the NBA, and he's 40 years old. If his foot hurts, let him sit down.
I mean, but he
I'm
could have
not
did
really
that.
mad, man. Like it's kind of what I expected. I mean, this the
Yeah.
guy. Like, I mentioned it earlier how he refused to enter the slam dunk contest, and this is when he was young LeBron, 18, 19. So he's the poster child. He gets to do what he wants to do. He can leave teams when he feels like it. He can um put his kids on. It's LeBron. I'm
Well,
not
in
mad at him. I think some.
2019,
Hmm?
I'm sorry, in 2009, he said this.
Now, Kenny Smith is trying to out you for next year's competition. You guys are pointing at each other. Inquiring minds and the fans want to know, LeBron, are you going to compete next year?
Right now, I'm preliminary putting my name in the 2010 dunk contest Saturday night. LeBron James is saying that in 2010 in Dallas Stadium, primarily I put my name in the dunk contest.
But obviously, in 2010, he did not enter the slam dunk contest. So I think at one point in time, he felt like it was important to do it. In 2019, that was a pretty exciting slam dunk contest because you had Nate Robinson and you had my guy Dwight
The White,
Howard,
the White Howards,
Superman,
number
and it was
two.
good. That was a pretty good slam dunk contest. So when LeBron said that, I'm laughing because a lot of people online said, and here goes LeBron lying again. But he never came back. He basically was like, right now on this stage, and he said it live in front of everybody that he was going to participate in the 2020 slam dunk contest. Do you think it's fair though of failing? Like, what do you think it is about LeBron? Like, he's an incredible player. His legacy is forever going to last. He's done a lot for the NBA, and he has been a good role model for the NBA. But do you think stuff like that clouds his legacy, especially too with certain things? It took him a lot longer to reach than other NBA players in the past.
I don't think this not participating in the slam dunk contest is going to mess up his legacy any. You know, I think LeBron likes to hang out with celebrities. Saturday night he'd rather hang out in the crowd, hang out with Brandy and Monica and whoever's hot, and chill. He don't want to be out there jumping up and down. And I get it. I don't think
Yeah,
it's going to tarnish his legacy. That won't. Maybe skipping town and flipping teams that might.
yeah.
Or firing coaches that might. But a slam dunk contest, nah, because he never participated in it. So I don't know what ceiling he has to or what standard he has to live up to with the slam dunk contest because he never participated in it.
Well, I feel you on that. I feel like I don't know what standard we have for the NBA All Star either. Because if you're hurt and you felt like you was hurt, if he told them in enough time, somebody else could have took his spot in the at least the All Star game, which would have been very valid. We voted you in. You have one of the highest votes, but then you don't play, and then we don't find out you're not going to play at the last minute. And I get it too. Like if I saw the format, I probably wouldn't want to play either. You know what I'm saying?
They're
Four
trying to have a good
teams,
time, man.
40,
It's
40 points, you know what I'm saying? But
like being at
I don't
Bourbon
know.
Street.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically that's what it was for him. I do believe that I think the NBA All-Star team should, reach out to the N1 players and the people from Rucker Park, people that are exciting. If they not gonna do it, I know those guys are gonna go and put on a show, even if it's the NBA All Stars playing against the Rucker Park All Stars. You know what I'm saying? Just
Look,
to bring an element to it.
bring back the and one guys, the and one crew. Bring back the
Hell
bus.
yeah. We love that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We love the N1 guys, and we know they're gonna try. They're gonna try to embarrass you. And if you're NBA players, you don't want to get embarrassed. So if you put them up against NBA legends and all stars that year, I feel like that will bring a different element to the All Star because one, they want to be chose. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are trying to make it to the lead. So what's a perfect way of kind of switching it up, but giving people that don't get the opportunity, street dudes, that are really talented because looking at the game, Wimby, he played hard. Shaq's team really didn't play hard. They was just trying to have the moment. You saw Steph Curry taking a lot of 3-point shots. The ones he hit was exciting, but he also missed a lot. Dame, you saw he lost to a person in the crowds. Oh yeah, that too, man. What did you think about the intermission? Like Mr. Beast, him in that aspect, like I could tell that his online stuff is so produced, which is great. But when he got on that stage to host a halftime or whatever you want to call it event, it was horrible. What do you think about Mr. Beast?
I agree with you. He has a producer.
A good producer at that.
Yeah, he's got a ghostwriter.
Yeah. When I saw him, I was actually kind of disappointed in seeing the quality of a host he was and just everything. It was so weird because even if you look at the footage, Dame was like, "Yo, what do you? Yo, go back there. Yo, shut up." You know what I'm saying? Because it was like it wasn't entertaining, and when you see stuff online, everything just seems so perfect. His production team needs a raise because he got exposed during
Mhm.
the NBA All Star. I'm not gonna lie.
And you just exposed him.
Yeah, I definitely did. Because a lot of people ain't talking about that, but that's me being a host and me being a person that, kind of plays to the crowd. I was just like, man, bro, you're not good. So, you're not good at all. And, online, you look amazing. Like, you look like the great host. You look like the great entertainer, but you're fooling everybody through your production. But I also have to give you credit because you look amazing online, but in
The
front of
Wizard of
everybody,
Oz, man. The Wizard
is
of
not as
Oz.
great. What do you thought about Kevin Hart and his whole antics?
I mean, I think Kevin Hart's a great host. It's just like I wish they would go back to traditional NBA All Star Weekend. That was like MTV or Nickelodeon. I don't want to see celebrities. It's like our lives are built around celebrities now with social media.
Yeah,
So when I
I
turn on the
agree.
All Star game from February's All Star Weekend, I turn the game and I'm seeing these same guys I see every day on social media, on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram,
Yeah,
YouTube. It's like it's too much. It's oversaturated, man. Like
yeah, I get you. Like the celebrity game, Drewski and Concept that,
I see
and
Drewski all the time. Like I mean, wow, bro.
yeah,
And then you have
and
folks
they
that say that they're sick and tired of seeing LeBron. So LeBron took the night off.
I would never get sick and tired of him because I mean I ain't gonna lie, like I give him props for the aspect of him working this hard and for him to be over 40 doing amazing things. And a lot of people don't give Jordan credit for when he was 40, but at the same time he actually did amazing things too. He was averaged over 20 points. He had a 40-point game. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of similar, but Jordan also took a lot of breaks in between time. So I don't know. But I don't want to compare the two. At the end of the day, they are two different individuals. But I am disappointed when a person like LeBron, the day of, and in the interview, like, hey, so what do you expect to do? And also, oh, well, you know what? I'm not going to play because my foot hasn't healed. And then you took that opportunity for somebody else to step in your place because there's a lot of people that want to be there. Like I said, Wimby, he looked amazing. He looked like he really wanted to play. Um, you know, Shaq's team, they were just better than everybody. I mean, they literally had all the All Star and future Hall of Famer players on his team.
The OGs,
Um,
right? The OGs.
yeah, the OGs looked amazing. Candace team, they shouldn't even be there because they not all stars. You know what I'm saying? They rising stars, and the rising stars. I liked what they did with that. Was the sophomores played the rookies. They shouldn't be playing all stars because they didn't earn the right to be considered an all star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
bring it
Kenny's
back to
team,
the traditional All Star Weekend.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Kenny team, they just I ain't even as Jalen Brunson. I don't feel like I don't since he got into the All Star. I never felt like he really tried, but because he hasn't had anybody in front of him to be like, "Hey, this is how we supposed to play." He don't really be balling the All Star games. But for somebody to be in the All Star game and only play 8 minutes, or but considered an All Star and only play 8 minutes, I think that's a tragedy because All Stars should be playing way more than that. It should be East against West, and I don't think that should ever go. We just got to figure out how can we get these NBA players to play a lot harder than what they playing.
Well, we need to go to the graveyard and dig up David Stern and reanimate him and let David Stern fix everything, man, because this would never happen on David Stern's watch.
I don't know because it started
Commissioner
with him.
Stern.
It started with him. I think once they made the league global, which I think is a great thing for the league, um, I think they started promoting the European basketball player more. And on that aspect, you already hear people saying probably when LeBron go, Wemby's probably going to be the best player in the NBA. When you have somebody like Zion Williamson, which we know what he can do, but he ain't never healthy. And when you got somebody like an Anthony Edwards, where he started slow, but right now he could be that person. Like I said, he gives me signs of a, and I don't want to compare him to MJ, but that's the only person I can really compare him to when he's dunking. His 3-point shot is pretty good. He could get past great defenders, and he talk ish. You know what I'm saying? So you
So,
got these people, Ja Moran, which they kind of brung him to the back because of the whole situation, and he came back on. Then he did something stupid again. But I feel like they are like even Giannis said, like, hey, we got Luka on the Lakers now. We need to get Joker on the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So don't get me
yeah,
wrong, those players are good, but are they exciting? That's the question. What you think, T?
hey, somebody put Giannis in the slam dunk contest. That should be interesting.
Well, he's been talking about it. I will say that from when Mac won, I guess they felt disappointed because he actually got a three-peat. He got a three-peat before the Chiefs. But I think that's the first three-peat in the slam dunk contest. But I don't want to say he's not a real NBA player, but he's not really consistently on the team. He's between the G League and whatever team. So I wouldn't mind Giannis being on the slam dunk contest, but are European players going to be the face of the league when LeBron leaves?
I mean, they already kind of are. Giannis had his run. He was actually the face during their championship run. So it's talked about with Giannis. If Jokic, what 3-time MVP?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Jokic and
European players are already doing their thing. Wimbalaya, he's legit.
yeah, he's to
Europe's
me
here,
by
man.
far is the best.
Hmm?
Best player athletic wise. He reminds me
Who,
of a
Wimbalaya?
better KD. Hell yeah.
You think he's better than Jokic?
I think I don't think at the moment he is, but in the long run, he would be the best European player of all time. And he probably would be the face of the NBA because he's athletic. He can shoot threes. He's 7'5", which we ain't never seen anything like that. He doesn't get hurt. And most tall players, no matter what, that's their biggest Achilles injuries. And we haven't seen that, at least in the first 2 years. Um, I know he patterns his game on the KD, and a lot of people do because KD is a great shooter. I, I don't. It's hard for me to talk about KD because I don't want to say he's overrated because I don't think he is, but I just don't think he accepts the pressure. So he doesn't have the Kobe, even LeBron,
He does
MJ
that.
type of
The,
mentality.
the eye of the tiger. He doesn't have the eye of the tiger. Seems
He
like he just
doesn't.
don't care. He just out there.
He's okay with being a role player. He's okay with being somebody that's a part of the team, but he's not the person that you would say this is his team. When he was on Golden State, I didn't feel like that was his team. I don't think anybody did. Yeah, he got 2 MVPs, he got 2 chips, but I don't think anybody felt like that was his team. When he was on Brooklyn, I don't think anybody felt that was his team. He's on Phoenix. I don't think anybody feels that is his team. You know what I'm saying? And he
When he
doesn't
was in
elevate.
Oklahoma, it was the same way. It was the same thing. I mean, we wanted Oklahoma to be his team, but
Yeah.
was it?
I agree. I
His,
mean,
his teammates didn't act like it was.
I feel like it could have been though. I feel like you had Harden on the bench, so you already put him as number 3. He probably would have been fighting with Russ, but with his shooting abilities, his scoring abilities, you can't deny him. He just didn't want that pressure. So what do? You're the best team in the NBA at that particular time, but then you take a L to the Golden State Warriors, and then next year come around and you was up 3-1, mind you. So you was up during the series, but for whatever reason, I think that was the first time. And don't quote me, but I think that was the first time in history a team came back from 3-1 and won. But then you joined that team, So it's like you don't have that hunger or that eye. Like, you know what? I'm not going to join the best team. I'm gonna be the best team, and I'm gonna just work harder next year. I know we talked about this prior, but I do feel like if next year happened and they was all on the same team, they would have been a championship team. And that's just my opinion. What you think, Eagles guy?
Oklahoma?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Westbrook, man. I just don't think Westbrook was a good fit to be playing with superstars because in his own mind, and I guess rightfully so, he's a superstar. I think he used to shoot the ball a lot. He wouldn't pass it, and he took ridiculously stupid shots. I think KD got fed up, and he went someplace where he could win. And then you're
Yeah,
saying, well, he went to a team that was already established. Well, he was on a team they were trying to build, and they wasted 4, 5 years, 6 years of his career. So why not go to a team that's already established and you can win here? I mean, that's crazy. Like when he went to Golden State, I mean, I would have bet. What was their record that year?
Well, I know the
I
last year he
Google
was
it.
there. I want to say the last year was 72-9, but they end up losing.
Wow. Boy, some
Um,
gamblers made some money, man.
yeah,
And you knew they were
definitely.
going to win a chip.
Well, they didn't win that year. That was the year that they lost. So they beat the
With the
Bulls
first
record.
year, so the first year
No,
that
no.
LeBron was
They
they
won
lost to
the first
Cleveland.
2 years, and then that year when they had the record of 72-9, I believe they lost to the Cavaliers. Um,
That was his
and
last year
K,
there.
yeah, but was it this last year? Because then they
Yeah.
lost. No, no, no. I might be wrong on that, or we might be wrong on that one because his last year, I want to say they played against
Cleveland.
Toronto. Didn't they lose against Toronto and he hurt his Achilles during that game?
Mm.
See, I can't remember. Let me see if let me look that up real quick. Because I
Look
know
that
they
up.
played against Cleveland, but I do know he hurt his Achilles and he
I
was
thought that was
supposed to
against
play.
Cleveland. Maybe it
And
was.
that's
Maybe
the
it was
that
Toronto.
was that was the year they was 72-9, which
Right.
was
That
a
was the
better
year where
record than the Bulls.
basically he came back in the finals and gave us 30 minutes.
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was injured. But
Yeah, he was injured. He was injured, but they kind of forced him to come back, and he really didn't want to come back. And
well, the
then they
media
played
was
against
going crazy
Toronto.
on him, called him soft, and so he came
Yeah.
back and put down 30 minutes, he put up about 30 points.
All right, Katie last year, Golden State. He averaged 25 and 4, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and that was in 2016.
The Pacers are in the East, so if Kawhi played against the Pacers, it was in the conference championship game.
Yeah, that was. I want to say that was a game where the ball dropped for them and they won the chip. But I can't remember
That was
what.
the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs where
Mhm.
they beat my Sixers with Jimmy
Oh, that
Butler
was.
and Embiid.
You're right.
Yeah,
That was the Sixers. That was the Sixers. That was the year Cleveland actually, and
Cleveland came
actually
back. They were down
3-1. I was
3-1.
at the game. I was at the game, the first game that they won. I went to Cleveland. I didn't think they was gonna win. J Mark Green, he went out the game prior, I believe,
Right.
and that changed the whole aspect of the game. LeBron got that first chip. Yeah, so 2016. So that means they
Yeah.
played. So they didn't play Toronto then, because I felt like he went out against Toronto. But whoever he went out against, he hurt his Achilles. Yeah, we about to sign all the way off, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Undrafted Plays, the show, the movement. We are the King Kong of the sports is the boy Jay Running and the magnificent T Daddy right here, man. And make sure you check out my homie TOV Sports, baby, because he produces it.